Hey all, in this video, you're going to learn about VAT in UAE. So what is VAT? VAT, or value-added tax, is an indirect tax imposed on the supply of most goods and services. It is charged at each step of the supply chain where end customer will bear the cost. A business will collect the VAT from customers while making the sales on behalf of government and will pay it to the government. Similarly, the business can claim back the VAT which they have already paid to the suppliers while purchases. So, the net VAT payable or receivable will be VAT that they have collected from customers while making sales. That is the output VAT minus the VAT that they have already paid to the suppliers while making the purchases. That is the input VAT. The VAT you want to pay to the government while making sales is output VAT, and the VAT you can claim back from the government, which you have already paid to the suppliers, while doing purchase is called input VAT. So now let's investigate more about the VAT in United Arab Emirates. There are three types of sales in VAT calculation: standard rated, zero rated, and exempted. In standard rated sales, the business needs to pay a certain percentage of sales to the government. And in UAE, it is 5%. So the business needs to pay 5% of their sales to the government in standard rated sales, where in zero rated and exempted, they no need to pay anything to the government. So what is the difference between exempted and zero rated sales? Well, businesses that supply goods or services that are subject to a zero rate are required to register for VAT and can recover the VAT that they incurred on their purchases. Meanwhile, businesses that supply tax-exempt goods or services no need to register and cannot recover the VAT they incurred on their purchases. So do every business that makes zero-rated and standard-rated sales need to register VAT? No. There is a threshold limit for registering for VAT. Business must register for VAT if their taxable supplies and imports exceed the mandatory registration threshold of AED 375,000. And a business may choose to register for VAT voluntarily if their supplies and imports are below the mandatory registration threshold but exceed the voluntary registration threshold of AED 187,500. The business should register in VAT if they have crossed the mandatory thresholds in previous 12 months or expect to cross in next 12 months. Related businesses that share economic, financial, and regulatory ties may be able to register as a tax group if they have an establishment in the UAE and are legal persons under common control. Transactions between the group members are disregarded, and one member of the group, called a representative member, will file a consolidated VAT return covering the activities of the group. Furthermore, all supplies made or received by any of the tax group members will be treated as made by the representative member of the group, although all members of the group will remain jointly and severally liable for VAT debts. The VAT incurred on entertainment expenses, motor vehicles used for personal purposes, and employee-related expenses cannot be reclaimed. You will be required to pay any tax due by the due date for each return, that is, by the 28th day of the month following the end of each tax period. You will normally be allocated a quarterly or monthly tax period according to your annual turnover, and on each return, you will need to show the value of standard-rated supplies made in the tax period and the output tax charged per emirate, the value of zero-rated supplies made in the tax period, the value of exempt supplies made in the tax period, the value of any reverse-charged supplies received in the tax period, the value of expenses incurred in the tax period where you seek to recover input tax, and the amount of recoverable tax, the total amount of tax due and recoverable input tax for the tax period, the tax payable or repayable for the tax period, Businesses are not allowed to charge VAT unless they are registered in VAT and have a VAT TRN, which is tax registration number. And also, while providing a VAT invoice, the VAT invoice should contain the date, name, TRN number, price, and VAT amount. In educational sector, the education materials and trips related to curriculum comes under the 0 rated, while the uniform, foods on campus, etc. comes under standard rated. Similarly, the VAT will be based on the industry in which you operate.